Good morning, my crafty friends. My name is Tina Kavergich, and I am Northern Stamper. I'm glad you could join me. Thank you for tuning in today. I started doing Facebook Lives to teach classes every Wednesday at 10:30 after we drop the kids off at school. And I thought, okay, today is going to be all about a stamp set called Forever Fern. Uh, I'm going to be showing you how to make that. I want it, and I'm going to show you something very cool, what to create with that. As I said, my name is Tina Kavergich. My company is Northern Stamper. I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you've never heard of Stampin' Up!, you're in for a treat. They are very high quality, amazing products that you can only get through a demonstrator online. So I wanted to let you know if you are joining me. Let me know in the comments where you're from. I love to know where everybody's from. I think it's great that we can all get together and craft. I also do have a couple of treats. At the end, what I'm going to do is have a prize. Anybody that comments and such, I have 2 giveaways to mail out to you. So I wanted to let you know. I love people that comment. I love to know where they're from. I'm just going to let you know a little bit about myself. I have been with Stampin' Up! For about 4 years now. I've been a demonstrator and I love teaching classes. So I think it's a lot of fun. What I wanted to do is actually show you some of the items that I created. Very simple class. I've got some simple cards. If you're new to stamping, welcome. This is a great place to start. I wanted to show you some of the cards that, if you're a beginner stamper, never stamped before, or you got a couple of ink pads and some stamps and you've tried it out, I wanted to show you some things that you can do. I have upcoming classes that are set for beginners, so I go very slowly and I like to make sure that everybody has a good time and feels confident about what they make. So what I did, here's one. This is a really cute one. It's just using the paper. It's called DSP, Designer Series paper. And it is just very simple and a great Christmas card. These are some of the cards from some other classes that we've done. Very simple. They may not look simple, but they are very simple, and I'll walk you through step by step. Like I said, I do have classes, so if you're getting ready for Christmas, this is a great thing to send for Christmas. Handmade cards are fantastic. They're lovely. They're fun to make, and people really appreciate getting them. So there's just a couple that are very simple. Those are beginners. Like I said, I walk you through that. And what I'm going to show you today is we're going to make a card using the Forever Fern stamp set. This is a very simple stamp set. It actually does come as a bundle. A bundle means you get the stamp set and the dies. These are just in a package so I don't lose them. But I wanted to show you what we can create with that. If you don't have a demonstrator, or you would like one of the catalogs that we're going to be using the products from today, drop me a message below and I will be happily to send one out to you. So today we are going to use what is on page 108, 109, and 110. Now this is the Forever Greenery Suite. It is actually showing all of the paper and the elements and the stamps and everything that you can use in this with this stamp set. So the stamp set is found on page 110. And it is $33. So if you don't have the stamp set, or there are some products that I have that I use, you can always drop me a message to see if you can get it, to order it, or if you have any questions. So what I'm going to do, with no further ado, I'm going to just actually flip the phone so that you can see my workspace. It's a little bit easier when we do that, so that you can follow along. So if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments and I'll try and watch. In the meantime, hold on. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. There we go. Oh, fantastic. As I said, my name is Tina from Northern Stamper. If you want to purchase any of the items, there you can just go to Northern Stamper at stampinup.net. So you can click the shop now, or if you want to see what events are coming up, you can go to this website and click the events button. I have a lot of events coming up. Mentioning some events, if you are new, I have some classes on Thursdays called Fun with Stamps and Inks. It's once a month. And this month, for November, we're going to be doing tags. So every Thursday on the second Thursday of the month, we do Fun with Stamps and Inks, and it's always something simple, great for starters. Or if you want to join in a kit class where you can receive everything inside. And this month for November, it's a paper pumpkin. A paper pumpkin is a box filled with everything you need. All you need is adhesive. I also have a Stampin' Up! Games and Craft Night. You can watch for free if you like, or if you prefer, if you want to join in and win some of the prizes. For $20, I send you out the package. Everything's pre-cut and everything, and all you need to do is add some glue, maybe some stamps. And in January, I've got a huge amount of great things planned for us. I have a Facebook kickoff. I have a bingo event where it's a bring your own beverage, and we're going to play bingo with a whole bunch of prizes. Or if you prefer, an online treat, stamper treat. It's a treat yourself type of stamper treat. You get everything in the box. We follow along and do a lot of fun things. If you have any questions, northernstamper@gmail.com. So if you have anything, either comment or let me know, and I will help you out. I am thrilled to do it. If you find that you want to get a start on your Christmas cards, let me know. Let me know. I love doing classes. So anyways, today we are working with Forever Fern. I love this stamp set. I love anything with leaves and stuff like that. So this is a really nice stamp set. It has 11 stamps in it. And as I mentioned, there is a bundle for that you can get with this, which means you can buy the stamp set and the dies that come with it. So I just want to show you on the bundle together is on page 109. And if you want the bundle together, it's $73, which is the stamp and the dies. And I wanted to show you that they have some beautiful dies that cut out paper. This is a beautiful Fern one. So one side is very sharp, so that would sit down and cut through the paper. They also have some that match the stamp set itself, so if you wanted to cut any items out, you would stamp them and then put them on a die cutting machine and just cut them out. They're fantastic. They work really well. Here's another one. This is a really popular one. Fantastic. I did this on a card that is shown earlier this week in my Facebook group. So these dies are fantastic. And actually, I'm going to be using a few of them today. I have my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so I can show you how to do that. It works much better than the old one. The old one was like as if I was having an earthquake every time I would cut those items out. So like I said, we're going to be using the Forever Fern. Now, I couldn't decide which one to use, which card I wanted to show you. So I have two cards that I want to show you. Now, I didn't know which one to make today, so if you could help me decide, I'd really appreciate it. That would be fantastic. I love them both. I couldn't decide. So we have one that is in a jade that has like a panel. So this is a technique. What we do is we take the whole piece of paper and then we split it apart after we've stamped it. So if you'd like to know how to make this just jade one, mark in the comments below. And we will make that in a few minutes. Okay. We also have another one that it's called Rich Razzleberry. And this is a variety of colors. And this is a really pretty one. I love the purple and the blues that go with it. But I can't decide which one to show you how to make. So I'm going to let you decide. So if you could comment below, that would be great because I got them both prepped. And then what I'm going to show you after that is we're going to be using a full sheet of paper. And we're going to be stamping on the whole sheet and then cutting that apart. That's called a one-sheet wonder. And that is a really cool idea what to do with this Forever Fern stamp set. So let me know which one you would like to do. So as I had mentioned, if there's anything that you need to know about, just drop it in the comments. One of the items that you can purchase along with the Forever Fern is called the DSP, the Designer Series paper. It's very pretty. It's called Designer Series paper, or I just call it pretty paper. And you could just make cards using the pretty paper just by itself. There is nothing wrong with that. I think they're fantastic. They are currently they are currently on sale right now. The packages are 15% off. So you can make really easy cards using just the Designer Series paper. This is one of the ones that I showed earlier. And this is one of the dies that come with it. So as you can see, they do cut out very, very nicely. And so I didn't know which one to do. So I wanted to show you a few with the papers, some with the stamp set, and some with the dies. So what I'm going to do, I didn't know which one. So let's do this one here. No, this one here. I can't decide. Do you want the purple one or do you want the green one? Let me know in your comments below and I'll start making that for you. I have them all prepped. So I'd love to know which one you think we should do. So first one to comment, let's pull it out. So I got all the items prepped here. So let's start with the, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, green. Jean says green, so let's go with the green one. All right, thank you, Jean. So like I said, I had everything prepped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this up into the corner so that you can continue to see it. And what I have done is I've already pre-cut my card base. So the card base is the part of the card that opens up. So I have cut that and I've scored it already with my trimmer. So I have that already there. I'm going to just show you the pieces as we go along. I have a matte piece, and that is going to go on the front of the card, unless you're like Sue, and it goes backwards, and then you send it to some friend in Australia. That's fantastic, too. So this is our matte, so you can see it behind here. We're going to be putting that. And what we're going to be stamping on is actually this white piece of square. And we're going to make these parts here. We're going to be stamping on here. And you'll notice that I have some different colors here. So I've got Pear Pizzazz, Just Jade, and a Sahara Sand just on this back part. So I'm going to go through each piece. So let's start with this white. So what I'm going to do, tuck that up there, I'm going to get out my ink pads that I have chosen to make with this. I love the colors that they have here. This darker green is the Just Jade. So it's right there. There's Pear Pizzazz and Sahara Sand. So I'm going to put those off to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the darkest color. Now I need to go in here and pull out. I'm going to work with this long willowy piece. And I'm going to put that on a block. So when you have stamps, it's best to have a block that is about the right size. I like the Stampin' Up! Blocks because they do have a ridge on the side here to hold on. It makes it easier so they don't fall off or I don't get my fingers in the ink pad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the jade. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to pat and turn. What I want to do is I'm going to follow such as a line here. So let's see. And I'm going to go press it once. Okay. So that is the Just Jade color. And I'm going to keep following it up. I know some of it's going to get hidden, so I can kind of match up the ends. It's all going to be hidden here. And I'll do a little bit over on this side because I will be cutting it apart. So you'll see how the detail of these really come out nice. So if I want, I could do a little bit more. Maybe I'll do just one more kind of up and around. So that this part is going to be hidden. Now, I want to clean off my stamp, and what I usually have is called a chamois, and it has run away. I guess it has gotten legs and run away. So I'm going to close this up because I don't want to put my fingers in it. Or stuff, or my elbow or anything else. So in the meantime, I'm just going to clean up that stamp a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to pull it off my block. And now I'm going to move on to the next piece of leaf. This one here, whoops, I don't know what it's called, but it's really nice. Like I said, you'll notice that I'm putting the stamps on crooked on my block. I do that on purpose because when I look, I don't want to make things square with the block. I want to make things square with the stamp. So this forces me to look through the block at the stamp itself. So I'm going to be adding the lighter color of Pear Pizzazz. So I'm patting and turning to ink it up. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to fill in some of that white space with this lighter color. So some of it might fall off, but that's okay. I'm going to kind of go behind there and fan it out a little bit. Okay, and as I'm just turning my paper, and I remember that a part of it will be covered, so even though it looks like a mess there, that's okay. So I have some of it fanned out already, and that's with the Pear Pizzazz. So it's starting to fill up the paper now. And I'm going to add some dimension with some little spots in here. I don't know what these kind of little splotchy things are, but they do add a little bit of design. So I'm going to use a different size block. I like to keep the blocks, like I said, with the stamp size. It helps control it and not get so much ink on. So I'm going to just add some in the white spaces in between, just for some design. I'll put a little bit down here and maybe go a little bit over here. Oh, I've got some white space over there, so why not? Okay, so I have that all done now with the paper. Now, I'm not done stamping. I want to do a couple of more pieces because these ones I had cut out and they're added on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a spare piece of paper to cut some of these ones out. I love the berries on this. And I am going to use, you can actually use whatever color that you like. This one is called Flirty Flamingo. And maybe what I can do is I'm going to actually do a couple of them in 2 different colors and decide from there which 2 I'm going to use. Oh, so this one's too small, so I need a different block. Put one that's a little bit larger. Okay. So I am going to choose, I'm going to do one with Rich Raspberry, and I'm going to lay them down and see which ones I like. So I'm going to do, so it looks like 1, 2. I'm going to do 2 in the Rich Raspberry. So I'm going to ink it up. Stamp it on this piece of white paper. See the detail on that? Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so I got the 2. Now, maybe I want a different color. I don't know which one to use yet, so I'm going to bring in the Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to clean off my stamps so I don't cross-contaminate on the colors. Okay, and I will bring in another color, another piece of paper. After this, what I'm going to do is use my Stamp and Emboss machine, and you're going to see how those dies work. So I'm just going to stamp them in the two different colors. Okay, they're very different colors, and you can't really go wrong because the Stampin' Up! Colors all match. You could use the most bizarre colors, the most colors that do look like they don't match, and they will. So I'm just going to put these off to the side. I don't want to crush them. And I'm going to bring in my machine. This is called the Stamp and Emboss machine. Whoops. Oh dear. I don't know if you can see it all, but what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can make this a little higher. I guess not. Whoop. So I'm going to place on the plates. Now, this is a new machine, so it's really, really good because the machine, the plates tell you what numbers to put down. So for this, if I want to place the cutting edge down, so I need number 1, which I have underneath. I put number 2, which is this one. I put a plate, which is number 3, the clear one. Now I need to get, my piece of paper and my die. So you'll notice one side is very sharp. So I have the paper down, and I'm going to lay that down, and I can see through the holes here, kind of roughly when the colors change, I can see where it matches up. So I'm just going to put that on there, and I need a plate on top, so another plate number 3. Normally when I would do this, there we go, and I'm going to roll it through, it would be like the earth is shaking. It's not so bad this time around, so I'm going to just cut that through. And you'll see that it cuts out really nicely, see, all the way through. And I just pop it out and push. And then it pops out like that. So that is really nice. That's such a nice cut out. So I've done that with I'm going to cut out the rich raspberries already been done. I'm going to do the flirty flamingo. This machine is really, really nice. It's such an improvement over the older one. The older one was it was workhorse, but this one is so much easier to use. So, and there is the one for the flirty flamingo. Let's see, I missed. That's okay because that part is going to be hidden under a tag. So let's just do that. And I got 2. I'm going to put this machine aside. Oop. It actually folds up too, which is really great, so I can carry it around and nothing falls out. So I have already cut one of them out. So there we got the flirty flamingo and the rich raspberry. So I'm going to bring them back in. Oh, I forgot. I need to cut out some leaves. So I'm going to go back. I need my machine again. Oh, that's good thing it didn't go too far. All right. So I need some leaves in the same color as the green. So the Just Jade. I think I had pulled some out here. So I'm going to make my sandwich. It's like making like grilled cheese, pieces of bread. So, and a brown for the little bit. So I always tell people it's like grilled cheese. The clear parts are like the bread pieces, and this is the specialty cheese in the middle. So I'm going to put the bread on top again. So I'm just making like a little sandwich. So I'm going to run it through. Okay. Now they are coming out with a smaller cut and emboss machine next year. This is the large size, and the next one is going to be a mini size one, which is a little smaller. So I'm just going to pop those out, and you can see it comes out really easy. I need 2 of those, and I need, this one's stuck in the plate. You see how nicely it comes out? I need a couple of those, so I'm going to run it through again, and I'm going to run through the brown, put that in there, run it through again. And that cuts out really nice. So sharp. So what? I found a little trick. I sent my husband to Home Depot once, or Princess Auto, one of those places, one of those car places, and I asked him to get me a titanium or whatever, and it's a magnetic kind of bottom, and I just drop in my plates there. So when I'm working on them, they don't get lost, like they won't fall anywhere, and I know that they will stay there, and they won't fall out. Just a little tip. If you can get one of those. So I have my 2 little sprigs. I have 2 little brown, I don't know what they call, little bubble things that go along. I have my little cutouts of the berries. So let's bring back our card. Okay, I'm going to tuck that back up in there. And what we're going to do is we are going to split this card apart, because I want to make it like a frame. So I'm going to get my trimmer, and there's no exact dimensions to this. What I'm going to do is I want a nice long piece on one side and 2 others on the other. So I'm going to kind of split right down the middle, trim it there. I'm going to turn that one piece, just turn it, and I'm going to just cut like that. So what's going to happen when I bring in my card, I can lay it down and just split it apart, and it's exactly where it's supposed to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue this down with my Stampin' Seal. I want it to stay so it fits on. So if you want to know how to make this, drop me a message. I can send you the dimensions on how to do this, or place an order, and I will send you the PDF form for this for free. So I'm just going to pop that on there, and I'm going to do the bottom one. Put a little bit of glue. Okay. Now I've done that. Now, is it straight? It's a little bit crooked. I think this one's a little bit crooked. So what I'm going to do, it's easy enough to peel right off if you do it slowly and gently. And I'm going to just reposition it down. And, I think maybe the first one was a little crooked. So once again, peel it gently. See? It's okay if you make a mistake. Everything is fixable. Okay, so I'm going to lay that down again. And now I can work with the this part here for the thank you tag. Now, like I said, I didn't know which ones to use. Should I use the rich raspberry ones? Or should I use the flirty flamingo ones? So let me know, purple or flamingo color for the berries. And in the meantime, I'm going to, what I do is when I have a lot of paper left over, I just pre-cut them out, and I put them in a little containers. So when I need to, I can just pop out and just pick out something that I want to use, just like that. Makes it really easy when I make a card. So this way I'm not always searching. Just pop out some simple ones, and so it's really much easier. So let me know which color you think. So the purple or the flamingo. I'd like to know. So let me know. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I got my tag here, and I'm going to start layering my leaves. So I want a little bit peeking out. And I'm going to add a little bit of tape onto that. Just on the back. And add a little bit of the brown little dots. I'm going to cross a little bit. Give it some dimension. Add a little bit of tape. I like to use the tape because it holds it down a little bit better. And I'm going to add one more leaf. So I'll do it that way. And there we go. Now all I need to do is add in, okay, Jean says purple. We are going with the purple. I love it. So I'm just going to add the one more in. Now I'm just going to figure out, do I want to tuck it in between? I'll just put it on top like this so it's coming off. One on one side and then one on the other. A little bit of tape just to hold it down. And I'm going to have one coming off from the bottom. Oops, don't want to bend it too much. I'll tuck that one in. And that's it. So I'm going to clean that off. Now what I want to do is, I have this, it's all built up, and I am going to put it down with dimensionals, which means I'm going to be using these foamy pieces, and that will help pop it up a little bit so it looks like it's standing up. So put on these dimensionals. Okay. Oh, I think I need longer nails. And I'm just going to put it right about where those two cross. Remember I told you it doesn't matter. I'm going to be hiding that part. So I'm going to put that. Oh, that looks really nice actually. And because now this is all done, I'm going to add that to my card base. So my white card base, bring that back in. And I'm going to add it on to the card base itself. So add some adhesive in the corners. Sometimes I like to use the liquid glue, but I don't have that handy at the moment. And I'm going to lay that down. And voila. There we go. Oh, that looks really nice. Jean, good choice. I love the purple. So, and that's for the one card, using the Forever Fern stamp set. I think it looks really good. Nice choice. Very easy to use. I love using the stamps. And so just for that. Now, I wanted to show you something very, very fun. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the full sheet of paper. And we're going to stamp the whole sheet and with these stamps. And because I'm going to be cutting it eventually to make a card front, I need kind of a guide on where the middle is. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer and I'm going to cut at 5.5, score at 5.5 and turn it and score at 4 1/4. So these basic really actually make 4 card fronts. So I have the line here so I can see where it intersects. So I'm going to lay this down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a whole bunch of different colors. And I'm going to use the stamps that I have in the Forever Fern. And I'm going to start with the largest pieces. So, and let us start with this willow piece again. So this is going to be like a one sheet wonder. So I'm going to lay that on top. And I'm going to be using one of the darker colors. So I'm going to start with a Misty Moonlight. I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to work along these lines here. So I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to kind of start in the middle. And I'm just going to follow along the lines. And it doesn't really matter how you do it. Okay. So I'm going to follow along the lines. Now I'm going to turn, so this, you'll see this kind of came over the line, and I'm going to turn it a little bit, and I'm going to go on to the other side. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see, try and get a little closer so you can see. So the line is in the center. Now I made a little smudge, but that's okay. I'm going to actually hide that. I'll stamp right on top of it so you can't see. So I'm going to follow the line and just keep going. Now, while I do this, I'm going to be moving the page. This is a lot of fun, and you just kind of keep going. And it's okay if they go over each side. I want them to cross a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to just keep going. I'm turning my paper. Got to make sure I get the ink all the way on. So that does help. So I'm going to follow that one. And maybe that one. So now I do have some white space, and that's okay. I'm going to close this up so that I don't stick my finger, my elbow in it. And what other color I'm going to use? I'm going to move into, so y'all, I've got like 7 different ink pads here. I'm going to use the jade color. And I'm going to start filling in some of the space with the other pieces, and I'm going to move to the next largest that I think is the next largest. I'm going to use this one right here. That's a leaf, and I'm going to find a block that it fits on. Okay, the block is a little large, so normally I would probably, there's a smaller block. I like to use the blocks that are about the right size. I find it's much easier, otherwise it gets a little out of control. So I'm going to use the Just Jade color, and I'm going to start filling in those white spaces. And even though I am stamping on top, that's okay. So just keep going. It's okay to fall off the pages and just filling in those spaces. The detail on this is really, really nice. And I'm going to bring that out a little bit more. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm turning my paper. Don't want my ink pad in there. Turn my paper. And look at that detail of the leaf. Okay, there we go. And I'll bring it up a little bit more here. And keep going. So you'll see it's starting to fill out a lot more now. And you really can't go wrong. So where is it? Do I got any more space? I think that's okay. Maybe I'll just do this last one since I had ink on there. So now I filled it out. And I'm going to move into another color. I'm going to go, you'll notice it is going from darkest down to the lightest color. So now I'm going to need to clean off some of these so I can use the blocks. Need to get in touch with those. So take off the blocks. I usually normally use a chamois. It's much easier. This little wipey thing is not working too well for me. So I'm going into the next size leaf. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to be using it with the color Pear Pizzazz. We used that on the very first card. And you'll notice I try and go into those leftover white spaces. Now, as I'm using the lighter color, I can start filling in kind of where it is in the middle, in between those dark leaves. So keep turning the paper. Like, look at the detail on that. Isn't that fantastic? Just love it. I love this set. And it is so useful. You can change the colors. This is great for Christmas. And I love this set. I think it's so worth every penny. I've used it on so many things. So keep watching this week. I'm going to be showcasing some other items using this stamp set. So start filling in. Now it looks like I got a smudge there, so I'm going to have to figure that out. I guess that's what I mean about the baby wipe didn't quite work. Oh, must be, it's getting more and more. So I got to feel out how to do that. So there we go. And I'm getting smudges everywhere. I wonder how that happened. Okay, so let me get an extra baby wipe, a nice clean one, just in case. And don't know where that came from. So clean off that. And I'm going to move on to the next size. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some berries. What I wanted to do is add some berries in there, because I've done some leaves, so I'm going to go back to the berries here and put that on the block. And what color? Oh, we were going to use Rich Razzleberry. I liked Jean's suggestion from before, so actually I have one here, so how would that look? I'm going to go with the Rich Razzleberry. So, good thing I had a spare. Okay, ink it up, and I'm going to pull those into some of the white spaces. And have it fall into the dark leaves where it ends, so it looks like that they're coming from that leaf. Okay, and I'm just going to keep turning and filling that space. Okay, turn that. Okay, and keep going. Now, what I can do also is in some of these places, that's where I can add the tag and stuff like that, or I can add the tag up there and hide that little mistake there. Okay. So this is really starting to look much more full. It may seem it looks busy, but it will be much different looking once we cut it apart. So I've done that, and I think what I'm going to do now is that, remember we did the little dotties, the little dots, the little splotches in that Sahara sand color? Let's repeat that and do that a little bit here. Okay. And that's just going to add a little bit to the dimensions of the card. Just fill it in a couple of the spots. Okay. Put them in the middle. Okay. And well, that is about it. So what I'm going to do now is show you what this all turns out to look like. Like I said, it looks like a big page of, oh my goodness, a lot of stamping. Now, watch what happens when I cut it. So remember, I made those score lines, so I know exactly where the score lines are. So I'm going to cut those. I'm going to cut it on those score lines. Going to turn it. Cut on that score line. Cut on that score line. Now this is the size of a card front. So what I want to do is I want to make it a little bit smaller than a card front. Plus, look, I can cut off that piece. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Okay. I'm going to cut those pieces off. That's one. Now, can I cut off that? Oh, look, I can cut that smudge off. That worked. Two. And I want to keep some of the bottom, so I'm going to cut from the top, get rid of some of the white, and keep as much as I can. Okay. I'm going to keep cutting. Cut a little bit from the bottom because I see a score line. I'll take that down. And what side should I keep? And over to here. So it looks like that smudge is still there, so I'm going to put my sentiment on top. And let's see, what can I do here? Take it down. I'll take it off from the top. And maybe I'll do that from here. Okay. So you'll notice now that I have cut it down, and I've got these pieces left over. Now what I'm going to do is that one we didn't do this morning. Let us bring that back in here. And let's see, does that mount? Mount it on one of those. Okay, I'm just going to glue this down. I'm just going to do one so you get the idea. So I'm going to glue that down. Oop, guess I didn't need that much glue. And I'm just going to cut off that edge. There we go. Oops. Now, there's that white card base. And I'm almost done. You with me? You still there? Wait till I reveal what it's going to look like. And there we go. There we go. And all I do, pull out one of my little tags that I had in my little bin that I've pre-populated. And I can use some ribbon and just pop it on there. And I'm going to use some dimensionals. Oh, look, I do have a ribbon. I could see how I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll just cut this in half. My dimensionals, where did you go? I'll put that on the card. And I would do that for all of the front bases. Isn't that gorgeous? That just turns out so pretty. It's a lot of fun to do. And you can actually cut these card bases to different sizes. There's patterns that you could do. Oop! I did it upside down. That's okay. I forgive myself. That's the way it goes. Sometimes that happens. Alrighty. And pop that on there. Trim it up a little bit. I like to have those little angles on the ribbons. I think it's so pretty. And there we go. If you have Winkastella, add some to the little spots. Winkastella, my friend Sue, her favorite little dots. Add it to the dots, gives it some shimmer. Add it maybe, oops. Always remember, dab, dab. Otherwise it ends up to be like paint. So there we go. And there is one of them. So with the other three, I would do the exact same thing. Mount them on a card base, and look how beautiful that turns out. Just with using the stamp set and some ink, it looks really nice. Now if I want, I can add a little bit more. I can add like this. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do that because I got a couple of left over. Well, I don't want them to go to waste. So let's add those together and tuck them inside. I love it. Add some glue, tuck it underneath. Voila. And that's how we do that. So what do you think? Oh, don't forget to comment. I've got some things I would love to send out to you. And always remember, send out some happy mail. If there was anything that you would like or you have any questions, drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. You can visit my store. You can learn how to join in some classes. I will try and be here every week on Wednesday at 10:30. I'm glad you could join me and let me know what you think. Oh, where's my other card? There we go. And whoops, watch for more classes, and hopefully this has inspired you to make some cards of your own. I'd like to thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.